Right.
Okay, guys, we're here with Lukas among the Stones. So, for those who don't know who you are, just tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I started group training or learning about group training back in 2019.
Okay.
I learned from many different sources, such as strongman. Dennis Rogers was actually like my biggest inspiration.
That
I
dude's
started.
amazing.
Yeah, I started dabbling around with the grip by doing just kettlebell farmers walks, and now I pretty much switched to like specific implements. So yeah.
Okay. What implements are you liking the most right now?
Mostly I'm using, well, I have this 4-inch pipe. I use it with both hands. Well, I only do like deadlift motions. I don't do any like, I don't do grippers at the moment. I don't do hangs or anything, just deadlifts.
Okay.
I have a rolling handle from Strength Shop. I have 2 hubs, but I don't really use them because for me they're painful. I have 2 pinch blocks. One is like around 5 centimeters, others
Okay.
like 8. Yeah, I mean, mostly that, I guess.
Yeah, I find the hub painful too if I bend my thumb at all. If I do that crook where you
Yeah,
kind of wedge your thumb against it, that's a lot more painful than doing, just the claw grip. But of course, with the claw grip, you can't get nearly as much weight. So it's
yeah, I
kind
guess
of a catch 22.
I've seen Juju move with use the technique, and he pretty much says it's always like claw it like that. But for me,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. Really. Plus, I have
Yeah,
an
no,
injury,
that's
my finger a little bit. I don't know if you can see it,
yeah.
but it's a little bit like, so that finger really hurts when I hub. So yeah.
Oh. So what made you want to get into grip?
Well, not being able to lift 100 kg deadlift when I knew I could, but
Yeah.
just I couldn't grab it. And overall, just seeing these feats of strength, as I said, like Dennis Rogers, just seeing what he does, it's crazy, man. That really got me into grip. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I grew up really into like the big strong dudes. Like Brian Shaw's, Adrunas Savickas, those monster guys. And I wanted to, of course, be like them. So grip was the only way that as a normal sized human, I could do anything really cool. you know? So I thought, hey, if I'm going to tear a deck of cards in half or bend some steel, I better get into grip. That's kind of what I thought about it. I wanted to get into it for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, people say you're only as strong as your grip. So I mean, yeah, and you don't need a lot of weight for a grip, so that's also a benefit.
Yeah, that's true. It was really good to jump on board doing it during the pandemic.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure. Yeah. You didn't have to buy a whole gym just to get into it. That's cool.
And you
So
can make a lot of.
what's that?
No, I mean, and with grip, I mean, you can either buy the tools for pretty cheap for in most places. I mean, or you can just make them yourself.
Oh yeah, we
That.
made a ton of stuff. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, a lot of people make their own axles just out of pipe. I mean, that's easy peasy. You said yours was a 4-inch. Did you make that yourself?
Well, it was just a pipe, like just we found it in my grandpa's garage, and
Yep.
it was just a pipe. It was longer. We just cut it. I grinded off the rust, and then you just weld the little ring to attach the carabiner. And that's it, really.
Oh, perfect. There you go. Yeah, 4 inches, man. That's stout. That's huge, huge
Yeah,
pipe
like
there.
it's like this for me. My
Yeah.
hands are small, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough having small hands and grip. I don't have super small hands, but I have really short fingers and a bigger palm. So any fat bar stuff winds up being more like a pinch lift for me.
Oh yeah, me too. Like my right hand and my fingers are pretty much the same length, but my left palm is a little bit longer. So
Yeah.
I know you can see it, but yeah, it's like 7.1 inches. I measured my right, and 7.3 is my left. So yeah, not too good for grip, I guess.
Hey, the smaller hand guys are supposed to be really good at the hub, though. So I think we're supposed to be doing better at that than they say we're doing.
I guess we should.
So you
But
guys
I
like
love fat bar the most. So
what's that fat bar you like the most?
yeah, but I'm the worst at it. So
Oh well, That's okay to like what you're the worst at. You get better at it that way. Yeah. Have you seen Tim Livingston? Timmy on Instagram, Timmeh.
Oh, Ted, yeah, Tammy. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, yeah. He
Man,
deadlifts. Yeah.
his hubbing is quite up there. It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
I'm actually really amazed by his cart there. He's like equips gloves. He wraps it around with like tape, and still, tears the car just like nothing. That's the most impressive thing from him.
Yeah, he tears them covered in dish soap or whatever. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just tore through a deck of Mavericks the other day for the first time. I'd torn the really cheap like dollar store ones, and then I got some Mavericks and tore through those, and that was just a lot rougher, man. I still have tape on my hand from tearing up the webbing in my fingers. So
Yeah, I've never tried tearing, but I don't even want to think about it.
once you get the technique, it's just all conditioning the skin. It beats your hands up.
Yeah, same. I think it's kind of similar with bending. I think it's really tough on your skin and everything. That's why they use the wrappings.
Yeah, for sure. And even with the wraps, you see guys that are going for big stuff like tear up their middle fingers and whatnot. Josh Goldthrup just went for a gold nail and tore up his middle fingers going for that. I think he'll get it though. Honestly, I think he'll be the first person to get the gold nail.
Is that like a recent like new certification? Because I've seen the red nail, but like golden, I've never seen one.
Yeah, gold's been around for a while, just nobody's gotten close to doing it yet. Yeah, it's it's over 8 inches long, like 8 3/8 inches long, and it's a 3/8 inch steel, so it's really thick and strong as heck. But the length is the horrible part. It's being able to get back there with your arms out here as opposed to out here. It's easy to get back there with your arms here, but when you bring them out here, you have to have crazy upper body flexibility, and then having power from that spot is really tough.
Oh, I would think the longer the better.
No, you would think, because you get more leverage, but the longer it is, the more flexible you have to be, the more you have to pull your hands back. So it's tough. It's just tough to get into the position for it. Yeah, I find like 6.5 inches about the sweet spot.
I've never tried it. I can't comment on that. So
yeah, bending's crazy. Have you ever thought about giving that a shot?
I don't know. I've never been in anything like nails or anything, but I've tried, like these little metal pieces, whatever, and I've tried one with that was a little bit more difficult. And, I actually had to commit, like you can't just explode into it. I figured you have to like actually commit and actually keep squeezing, and my arms were absolutely sore after that. So
yeah, absolutely. It's really tough. Yeah, it's a whole body thing, man. If you don't commit to it, it hurts more if you don't commit, of course, because you don't get the bend. It's going to come back and put all that force back into your hands. It's brutal. Yeah, I honestly I don't do too much of the big bends. I do a lot more of the grip focused bends. So a lot of the wrist focused ones and those kind of bends. Those are pretty cool. I like those.
I might give it a shot later on.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to give it a try at least once. Every gripster has to try it. I think it's like more towards the dark side of grip. Like a lot of guys don't want to try it because it's, a little bit crazy, a little bit, you could get an injury from it pretty easy. So,
yeah.
I definitely think
even if I tried, I probably am not strong enough. Like I'm not, the usual beast you interview,
Well, the thing is, you don't have to be that strong to bend. That's the crazy thing. We just saw a guy get a red nail that weighed 64 kilograms. He was a small guy, and it's possible. It's a huge amount of technique. There is so much more technique in bending than there is in anything else I've tried in grip. Yeah, it's absolutely big technique. I know there's like Derek Graybill, who's up there at the top of the world now. When he was like 14, he was bending like bastards and red nails and whatnot because he was just trained by the best people. He had really good benders around him, so he learned the proper technique really young, and boom, get it done. Grippers are a little bit the same way. A little bit, of course, you still have to be really strong in your hands to close the big ones.
Yeah, I have my grippers. I don't do them right now, but my best one is 1.5. So nothing crazy, but I started while not even being able to budge the one, so it's progress, you know. But
Yeah,
right
that's
now,
huge
yeah.
progress. How close are you on the number 2?
Well, you see, I like to so to say master the weight and then
Okay,
move on. So
nice.
once I am good at the 1.5, once I close it, every single time and I can hold it, then yeah, because it my from 2 to the 3.5, I have all those, and they're still in the back. I don't want to, I want to save them.
Yep, absolutely. It'll be a long time before that 3.5 comes out. I don't know how that one is.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I might as well, if I bought some, I was thinking, no, might as well get all of them, just
Yep.
in case.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Yeah, when I first got them, they didn't even have the half ones. They just had 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Oh
So
man, I can't imagine that.
I was able to work up to a 2 on the old ones, but the gap between the 2 and the 3 was just insane. I have no idea how the guys way back in the day were able to do that. It's so impressive. We talked to
Yeah.
one of our interviews is with Ben Edwards, who he got to the 3 way back before there was a 2.5. And he just said it was just closing the 2 every day over and over and over and over again all the time. Like he took it to work with him. He was just closing it constantly, and that's what got him to the 3. And back then, that was it. It was just volume training. Now we have ratings and grippers in between, and a lot more tools to get it done. But yet, we all want to say, "Oh, I can't close the 3 yet," but boy, we have a lot more tools to do it than they did. For
Yeah,
sure.
I'm thinking about Magnus Samuelsson, how he progressed to the 4. That's even more crazy.
Yeah, I don't know his progress on how he went from where he was at to the 4, because as far as I know, like they gave him the gripper and he closed it a couple times. So his grip training, it'd be neat to find out more about that. Yeah, that guy's a monster. So what has it been
Yeah.
like in Lithuania growing up with Big Z being your guys' strongman?
Oh man, I mean, I've never met him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, everyone knows him. He has
Yeah.
multiple gyms here in Lithuania. I mean, yeah, he's still breaking records. He's still competing, winning, and I mean, I don't ever think that there's gonna be anyone like him. Honestly,
Yeah, I don't think so
he's
either.
won too much.
Has he affected like strength culture in Lithuania? Do you see more people train because of Big Z, or do you think that's like something he's influenced people?
I don't know. I mean, he influenced me.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
there you
But I
go.
mean, he
Absolutely.
has his own gyms. People go to
Yeah.
his gym. So I mean, and there are other actually there's a whole strongman gym here in Vilnius,
Oh
and I
wow,
mean,
that's cool.
yeah, it's cool. And he trains there, and there are other top level Lithuanian strongmen also train there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's got to be a big focus in your guys' culture, man. With Big Z and Vitalis Lawless and a few other guys that just went way up to the top. It's got to be, pretty cool. Is he on TV a lot and celebrated a lot?
I guess a little bit less, but I mean, on one TV channel, pretty much every. Well, I'm not sure if every week. I don't watch TV that much, but uh, there are these strongman shows where he and some other guy. He's not a strongman. I don't know the other guy's name, but he and Big Z pretty much commentate on events, and so yeah, he is in the media still. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. We really don't in the US, we really don't celebrate our strongmen as much as we should, probably. They don't get anywhere near as much attention as, our ball players do,
Oh yeah, same here. Basketball is like our number one sport here, so everyone's
Yeah.
crazy about basketball.
Everybody's crazy about basketball. I would think that strongman would be a big deal over there with Big Z, but it's basketball, huh?
Yeah. Like strongman's nothing compared to that. Really. I mean,
Yeah, that's how it is over here too.
everyone like celebrates Big Z, but no one really cares about strongman. It's kind of like
Oh,
that.
okay. I see. So his celebrity's kind of exceeded the sport a little bit.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So what's your favorite piece of equipment that you have in your home gym?
Right now, Well, I have a. Oh, I forgot to mention. I have a ball that's like it's a wooden ball, just regular. It's I don't know. It's like it's also pretty wide, like maybe 9 centimeters diameter. But yeah, I really love that, and I love the pipe, the 4-inch pipe. I don't know. I just love open hand stuff. You know, it makes my fingers feel like just crazy sore. So,
Yeah, for sure. That open hand stuff is tough too if you have smaller hands. That's where to go, man. That's gonna make a big difference for you for sure. I always struggle with like 3-inch pinch instead of 2-inch. I love the 2-inch pinch, but man, when you get out there to 3-inch pinch, it torques my wrist and it's just wild. But the more you practice that, the better you're gonna get at that.
yeah, I have
So
the wide inch block that I use. It pretty much it's a finger lift. Like I can't jam my fingers into it. It's a finger lift for me, so I don't use a lot of weight for it.
yeah, that's how I am on a lot of the wider pinch blocks. I can't wedge my knuckles over it or anything like that. So it's all fingertips. But fingertips is huge if you have smaller hands. You can start really rocking like the pinch implements, the hub implements, those kind of things that make a big difference for sure. I think the big-handed guys start to have trouble with things like grippers and things that are a little bit more finesse, more fine. Yeah, for sure. But of course, they destroy on the inch dumbbell.
Oh yeah, I mean, for someone like Mark Felix, I mean, an axle is just a regular barbell, you know.
Yeah, I've seen his hands on an inch dumbbell, and it's just crazy looking. Just wrap his hand around, get his thumb onto his freaking first finger and tuck it over. He can almost hook.
Yeah,
He can probably hook grip an axle.
yeah, I think he measured his hands. It was like he's above 10 inches. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
crazy.
crazy. A lot of the top guys in grip are pretty big dudes. Him, Carl Myerscough, Lane Snook, they're all like, well, he's only 6'4", but the other guys are like 6'6" or taller. Just monster dudes. And it's crazy. The guy that's right there competing with them, Tanner Merkel. I don't know if you follow too closely on all the guys, but Tanner
Oh
Merkel,
yeah,
who's won Kong 3 years in a row, he's only like about 6 foot tall, maybe 5'11", 5'10", but and 220 pounds.
oh yeah, I
Wild.
know. He's like doing these calisthenics feats, you know, on various grip tools, you know, front levers, 1 arm pull-ups, and yeah, I know. Yeah, I follow him.
Yeah, it's wild, especially at his body weight. Yeah, I think he came in pretty light though from the climbing world. He came in at about 80 kilos, and now he's just blown up to about 100 kilos, and he's still beating everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
another
he's
guy that
young,
just
right?
he is. Yeah, he's young. He's under 30 for sure. So
Yeah,
he
so
has a
he's still.
long ways to go. Yeah, yeah. I think he's gonna set the mark for quite a while for sure. Yeah, those guys. We get a few guys from climbing that are just amazing. Joe Hodgson from Australia is another big one.
Yeah, yeah.
And he just
Actually, well, Joe Hodgson is actually kind of the reason why I'm here. You know,
yeah.
it's like I've seen him live the golden potato, and I've talked to him. He's like the inspiration. He was like one of the friendliest guys I've DM'd,
Okay.
right? And he was like, he kind of encouraged me to post on Instagram. I was like, sure, why not? You know, I'm gonna try it. Then I found that he lifted the golden potatoes. I'm like, what is this? I found your Instagram, and then I was like, I just got interested in it, and I wrote you, and here we are.
That's awesome. Yeah, Joe's a great guy. He's helped us with quite a bit of knowledge and training for sure. Yeah, absolutely. He is just amazing. His strength is just absolutely crazy in grip. So that's pretty cool to see. Pretty cool to follow. What he's doing and where he's at with that. So for sure,
All
he's
right.
pretty much like runs the show down there in Australia now.
Yeah.
So
Also,
go ahead.
oh sorry. What?
What were you gonna say? Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna mention a few other guys like Arto Yoron, and I don't know if you know him.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
Arto
so
for sure.
he's like very very brute. He like takes the weight and just rips it off.
Yeah,
whatever
absolutely.
whatever axle, whatever.
Yeah, I've heard some cool stories about him. He has kind of a personality like that. He's a bigger than life dude, from my understanding. He's pretty excited dude. That's cool. They did one of the big world championships over there in Finland, and a lot of the guys from the US got to go over there and meet them and hang out. I've heard a few stories about Arto, and yeah, man, he has been in this scene for quite a while. So who is your favorite gripster that you're following right now? Or who's the top
Um,
guys that you follow and you try to take training advice from, or follow and try to model yourself after?
I mean, honestly, I try to follow like the grip community is so close. I feel like you can learn something from everybody. But like Harry Talonen, Arthur Yoronen, Joe Hodgson, I mean Tanner Merkel, Adam Glass, Jed Johnson. I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean even the strongman. And I mean, I don't really see, um, or I don't know if I'm even following him on Instagram, but Dennis Rogers, Yves Gravel. Yeah, Yves Gravel is actually pretty, I guess relatable. Also has small hands, so
Yep.
lifted an inch dumbbell. It's inspiration.
Yeah, what Eves can do is absolutely incredible. Just nuts. Some of the climbs that he's pulled off, just absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
And the fingerboards that are 6 millimeters or whatever, and he's pulling himself up on that. That's just crazy. I can't even imagine being able to lift myself on 6 millimeters. That's just nuts.
Yeah. Also, do you know Magnus Midbo?
Uh-uh.
So he's like, well, I learned about him from Juji Mufu.
Okay.
So pretty much he's like Magnus is like a world class climber also, and he does also these fingerboards. He did a one finger, I think it was pink. I'm not sure which finger, but one finger pull up, 1 hour pull up. So
Yep.
he does also crazy stuff. Also,
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, I follow the have you heard of the Italian butterfly, Tazio?
Tazio Biondo, yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, his pinky finger pull-ups are it's just crazy to see. His fingers must just be so conditioned.
Oh yeah, he does a lot of pull ups. So he does like hour hangs or even 10. I don't know, no, just hangs there.
Yeah, I
A
don't think there's
lot of
anybody that's close to his level when it comes to that kind of stuff.
yeah, and
So,
that's
what's your big goals in grip? Where do you plan on going with grip?
well. I mean, eventually, of course, I'm gonna go back to the grippers. I really want to close the 3.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to double overhand deadlift, like well, over 200 kilos. Right now it's 160. I can deadlift 160 with double overhand. Uh, Fat grips. I have fat grips. So with fat grips, I'd like to do deadlift like I don't know 140, maybe 160. Like I have big goals. I have big goals. I have a long way to go, but I believe in myself. With time, I think I'm gonna get it.
Absolutely. I agree 100%, man. Yeah, you're right that the hands make a big difference. Me and my brother deadlift the same weight on a bar, roughly, right about the same weight. I might be just a smidge above him, tiny bit maybe. But on an axle, way back in August of last year, he was already doing 140 kilos, and I haven't hit that mark yet. I'm at like 138 right in there, and
Mm.
he hit 140 a long time ago, and he's already way past that. But I can lift as much as him, so it's just he's got 8.5-inch hands. Man, that's a big help.
Yeah, but how does that work? Brothers, one brother, has a way larger hand. That's weird.
He's a
Maybe it's
younger
not. I don't know.
sibling. That's how it always works. The youngest siblings wind up huge. I think that's the case.
Yeah, I guess.
So, what's your greatest achievement you think you've had so far in the gym? Greatest thing you've accomplished?
Honestly, I think the 160 kg double overhand deadlift. I think
Yep.
knowing how that was my first obstacle. Not even being able to lift 100, lifting 160 was like, yeah, it felt really good.
That's awesome. Was that just on a regular power bar?
Oh, just yeah, regular I guess bar, not a deadlift bar,
Not a
not.
deadlift bar. Yeah, that makes a difference. It's you get more on a deadlift bar with double over for sure. So I think
Oh
it's
yeah,
tougher to do it that way.
it's a stiff bar. Yeah, it's very stiff
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah, when I did double over on a deadlift bar and I did 385 the same time that I was doing like 335 on the normal power bar. So I got like 40, 50 pounds out of the deadlift bar. So yeah, it
Yeah,
sure makes a big difference.
our gym didn't have them, so it's
Yeah, I
like
don't
an
have one in my
Olympic
home
level
gym.
thing.
I happened to just be luckily I traveled to a gym that had one and I was like, well, I'm gonna give it a shot, see what happens here. And got a decent amount more weight. And I was surprised. Yeah, they really do help you get the weight for sure.
I think they're thinner or not,
They're
like.
thinner, yeah, and you can pull a decent amount more before the weight actually comes off the ground.
Mm.
So they'll start bending at like, I don't know, 100 kilos and the bar's already bending.
Yeah, I never try that, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe even a little less. I think I saw some people lifting like 90 kilos and the bar was bending. So it's a pretty neat experience for sure. My heaviest deadlift was on a 10-foot wide bar called a Mammoth Bar. And that was just crazy weird to deadlift on, but it was fun. That was at our first we did our first strongman contest this year. And it was a fun show. I didn't get zero in any event. That's what made me happy. I just didn't want to show up and look like an idiot.
Yeah. So is the mammoth bar the same as like an elephant bar, or is it like longer? Or
Yeah, I think it's 1 foot longer than an elephant bar, but
oh,
very similar.
all right, all right.
Yeah,
Some
they're
people
very
say it's like
close.
easier than the regular bar. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people say it's easier. Some people say it's harder. I think it depends on your lifting style, for sure. For me,
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. It felt about the same. I don't think I lift heavy enough weight for me to notice a big difference.
Mm.
Yeah,
What's
I
your
think it
max?
makes max deadlift 422 is the most I've done. On the trap bar, I've done 460.
All
I'm
right.
hoping to hit 500 this year. That would
Yeah,
be cool.
that's a nice goal. Yeah, 500. Yeah, that's a nice goal.
Yeah. Well, I figure if I can lift 500 on a deadlift bar, then I can lift 300 on an axle every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Because then it's just like then it's just kind of a warm up. It's not really pushing yourself at all. So that's what I've heard from a lot of the guys that do grip that train it regularly, like every day, is they get their regular lifts to where their grip lifts are only going to be 60% of that.
Oh yeah, I mean, even Tanner Merkel, I think he failed in Arnold or somewhere. I'm not sure, but I think he failed the lift because of his overall body strength. Like his grip was there, but his body strength wasn't there. I believe so.
That's what happened to Joe Hodgson, from what I understand, with his inch dumbbell.
Oh,
Is he was picking up the inch dumbbell all the time with one hand, and that's 170 pounds, that's 80 kilos roughly, close to. And yeah, if you only have maybe 160 kilo deadlift, or maybe not even say 140 kilo deadlift in one hand, you're lifting more than half of that all the time, you're gonna hurt yourself.
yeah, yeah.
And that was part of what hurt him, is he didn't have his overall body strength up there. Yeah, it's a tough balance to train your overall body and your grip at the same time. If you have, like, I found a lot of guys, like here in the Northwest, we're starting the grip contest, and a lot of guys that do really well are guys that come from a background of strongman or powerlifting or something. They already have this huge foundation. They get into grip and they just tear it up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you can always try to use the hardest possible equipment, or I guess it can carry over a little bit to the other ones, the easier ones.
Yeah, I would think so. I think it does. I think 2.5-inch axle carries over to 2-inch axle for sure, you know? And I think that the like the bigger Saxon bar probably carries over to the small one pretty well.
So does the Saxon bar feel like different to like regular pinch block, or is it just pretty much two-handed pinch?
I guess with the weight being out on the side a little bit, it does torque maybe the pinky side of your hand a little more than a pinch block might, just a tiny bit. And you might feel
Mm.
it a little more in the wrist on this side. I notice after a lot of like 3-inch Saxon lifting, I'll feel it more in my wrist over here. Especially if it's cold. If it's cold out there and you put the weight down, you know, it shocks through your hands kind of a little bit. That's why I'm inside today. I almost never do these interviews outside of the garage, but it's something like, I don't know, 20 degrees out there right now. So
Mm.
that's not fun to just sit there. If I'm working out, that's fine. If I'm moving around, that's fine. But if I'm just sitting talking to somebody, I don't want to be in that weather.
Oh yeah, I'm lucky that you're not in Cali. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'd rather train in the cold or the heat. I wouldn't want to train where it's real hot though.
Oh yeah. I mean, in the garage if you have AC, I guess. But I mean, yeah, if your gym is like outside or you have no AC, yeah, it's worse. You just have to just chug water and hope you don't collapse.
Yeah, I think it wasn't last year's World's Strongest Man. I think it was the one before, or maybe it was last year's, but it was like 114 degrees where they were at. Yeah, it was down
What's
in
that like? 40 in
California.
Celsius?
What is that in Celsius? I have no idea. It's really hot.
Oh, it's really,
Let's see.
yeah, man.
So
I
like
mean, if it's cold, you can
45
just.
degrees, 46 degrees.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's how hot it was down there when they were doing strongman. One of them collapsed. And then up here in Washington, we got up to that high. We got up to 117 or something. So like 47 degrees up here in Washington. And it's normally nowhere near that hot. And it was just brutal. It was horrible.
Yeah, I mean, if it's cold, you can at least, you can always, bring a scarf, bring a sweater, everything. You can make it hot. When it's hot, you can't do shit.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are some unique, do you have any unique grip implements that you've gotten gotten your hands on or gotten a hold of that are different than the normal implements you see?
I mean, not really. I don't think so. I mean, most of them are. Oh, well, actually, I have a sidewinder. Well, it's not really unique,
Oh,
I
that's
guess, but
cool.
yeah, I really like it. Yeah.
That's
Not.
nice.
I
Yeah.
don't really see many people using it, but it's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, I never see anybody using the Sidewinder. I've heard of it, and I think I've seen a couple videos of it. That's the one where you twist it, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and like there's resistance enough for like literally Mark Felix, everybody. Everybody can progress with it, I believe.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, a lot of people collect a ton of hammers to do that same kind of motion or whatever, and
I
you
have a
actually can't even do
sledgehammer.
the same. And it takes a ton of equipment to get there. I use the gripito, the thing that looks like a torpedo,
Oh yeah,
and I
I've seen
stick
it.
it in a
Yeah,
bucket of sand and I twist that for the same kind of motion. And that
yeah.
works pretty good. So if you were going to start your training over again, what would you do different?
Oh man, I would do a lot different. I mean, I started off like I started seriously training in 19, but I kind of started going to the gym, on and off and doing this, bullshit workouts since I was 16. So I would really, start seriously from 16 and start implementing grip from the very start. Definitely, you know, for sure.
And how old are you now?
I'm 21.
Okay. So yeah, 5 years of consistent grip training would definitely have you in a different spot than you are now, for sure.
Yeah. And when COVID hit, I mean, it's not like I trained since 2019, religiously. When COVID hit, I just simply I gained a bunch of weight and I just lost track, couldn't go to the gym,
Yeah.
didn't have the grip implements that I have now, and it was a pretty bad moment for me, but now I'm back, progressing.
That's good. Yeah, that's huge. So what's your goal for this year? What do you want to hit this year?
Oh man, actually, I want to make this year the best year of my life. I have big ambitions for this year. I really want to. Right now, I'm training. I'm doing this volume block, right? So I'm just
Okay.
not doing any intensity. I'm trying to build up that volume, and maybe on the second half of the year, I'm gonna really start going, start progressing really.
That's smart. That's huge. That's actually what we're adding in this year is volume. We did nothing but sort of strength last year, just a lot of doubles and triples, hit heavy weight and then recover. A lot of times sleeping and eating last year, just because your body can't adapt to being in the gym that often, that quickly. So now we do a lot more volume in our sets, getting a bunch more reps, and I think that's helping. Definitely more sore than last year. Sore all the time, but the body adjusts to that pretty quickly.
Like my back, I can literally do like 20 sets of pull-ups, max reps every day, and it's fine. My grip, if I do like a few sets of max holds, my next day my fingers are just screaming. Like I get on the pull-up bar and just like I don't want to be there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. We just did pulls with a 2-inch bar, so not like an axle, just a 2-inch handle. It's about like this long, hooked up to a loading pin, and I got 414 or 413. I wanted to get 200 kilos. I went for 460, which was like what 205 or something, and 210. Yeah, it'd be about 210. So I went for about 210 kilos and missed. It slipped out of my hand, and man, the next day my hands were so toasted from the weight just sitting on them. It's crazy. So I understand why. I've seen a couple guys that can deadlift like 700 pounds pick up the inch dumbbell the first time they ever tried it.
Yeah, they're crazy beats. I mean, do you know Badir and Khaled Jashel?
Yeah.
Those guys. Yeah. Never done grip, just comes and picks up the Millennium dumbbell for like 3 reps or something. No.
Yeah, Khaled's a monster though. I mean, just an absolute monster. I don't know where they found that guy, but he is just he was probably on a farm carrying a cow or something, I imagine. Because he's just unbelievably strong. He came out of nowhere and was closing the 3.5 gripper and getting close on the 4, and it didn't even look like he knew how to set them that well when he was closing those grippers.
Brute strength,
yeah, absolutely. I've seen the giant bencher Kirill. Yeah, I've seen his gripper work, and it's just phenomenal, and it's just crazy strength.
Yeah, he said he used to back in the prime days when he was like powerlifting, he would do deadlift with like not like a double overhand grip, but like on his fingertips. He would just do as much weight as he can, warming up. So that's how he built it up.
Oh, so that's where that comes from. That's funny because I've seen a lot of grip guys start doing that monkey paw grip or whatever, where they're no thumb, just the fingers. And I was wondering who pitched that idea.
Yeah,
it's a good idea though. That's definitely would help the fingertip support strength, and that's a huge part of the inch. I mean, obviously, it's got to be the biggest part of the inch because you see guys lift it without their thumb.
Oh yeah. If you can stop the rotation, I think wrist is a big part. No.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
When the thumb was lift.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's wrist and then fingertips or finger support and wrist, I think, are the biggest parts in that. Yeah, have you gotten to get your hands on a blob or an inch or anything like that yet?
Oh, no. Nothing.
Yeah,
like
those
that.
are really hard to get a hold of.
I have a fat grips. I don't know if that's any similar. Probably not.
Fat grips are really good, man. Fat grips are one of the best. I think the best tool you can have in grip is fat grips. Yeah, you can carry them with you in your bag, take them to the gym with you, whatever. Turn your, gym bar into an axle. It's pretty cool.
I went back when I don't go to the gym anymore. It's been like 3 months. I went to the gym once, but back when I used to go, I mean, I would just bring my fat grips, start doing my deadlifts, and it turned into a mini competition. Just a lot of people just want to try it. It's a cool thing. You can bring it around.
Cool. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Have you tried one-hand deadlifts with the fat grip yet?
Yeah, my gym only had up to 40 kg dumbbells, so I lifted the 40 kg dumbbell with one hand, but it was a little bit of a thicker dumbbell handle, so
Oh, okay, yeah.
the fat grip
Really
was like,
opens up the fat grip.
yeah, it kind of.
Yep.
But yeah, that was challenging.
Have you tried it on a full length bar? The one hand deadlift, the fat grip?
Oh no.
Okay, so that's what we were doing in Super Series. That was one of the lifts recently in the Grip Super Series. That's a challenging lift. That's really fun to practice. One hand deadlifts on a full length bar because the balance really torques your wrist a little bit because you have to balance the bar so you get that sideways motion. That seems to help a lot. A lot of guys moved up. I know that one of the things Jed was talking about when he was training for the inch was doing one hand deadlifts on a 2.5-inch barbell. And he would do them on the side like a suitcase deadlift.
Mm.
And I could imagine that would definitely work the same type of rotation as an inch because you've lifted on a fat bar. You know, when you first pick it up, it rotates. And then when you get to the top, it rotates a little bit too. And that's when it can like fall out of your grip kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that would help with the inch, obviously, because that's the biggest part, as we talked about on the inch, is stopping that rotation.
Yeah. I'm actually very interested in trying something like the inch. Just to feel how it is. Obviously, I'm not gonna lift the inch dumbbell, but maybe a loadable inch or something, just to feel how the handle is.
Yeah, absolutely. A wrist wrench will show you a lot about that too. Have you used one of those?
No. Nope.
So that's the one that has the two straps hanging off over the side.
Mm.
Those
Oh yeah. And you have to like maintain so the rope doesn't roll out, right?
Yeah, exactly. Those are pretty darn good. You can make those yourself for nothing. I mean, if you have a little piece of pipe and two straps, you just attach them, put a bar in it, and lift the weight from there. Those are fantastic. Wrist wrench are huge. Yeah, if you can lift 100 pounds on a wrist wrench, you're, I guess, pretty darn elite. So it doesn't
Good.
take a lot of weight to train it either.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was gonna be like 150, 200 pounds, something like that, in that range.
Yeah, no, 100 pounds on a wrist wrench, you're probably lifting an inch dumbbell.
No.
Yeah, my buddy
What's it?
Mike, first time he lifted our inch dumbbell, he was lifting about like 95 pounds on a wrist wrench. And he just
All
walked
right.
up the inch and lifted it no problem.
Yeah, that's interesting. But doesn't the rolling handle do similar things or not?
Yeah, the roller definitely does. It doesn't torque the wrist as much, because it rolls so your hand can kind of go straight up. The wrist wrench, it torques the wrist a little bit, so it has that kind of that rotational torque a little bit. But I mean, a rolling handle will definitely get you up there too, for sure. Yeah. What rolling handle are you using now?
I got it for my birthday. It's just one from Strength Shop.
Okay.
It's like I believe it's 60 millimeters in
Oh,
diameter.
that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So that's about the size of the Rolling Thunder then.
Yeah, I think it's thicker.
Is it thicker than the Rolling Thunder? Okay.
Yeah, I think that the Rolling Thunder is like 50 or 55. I think I'm not
It's
sure.
probably 55. That sounds about right. About 55. Yeah. The 60s are like the Bear one from Russia. That's a 60, and there's a couple other ones. Yeah. That's a cool handle there.
Yeah, but it's like I've seen some handles like the RGT, from Jujimufu.
Yep.
I mean that thing just just you spin it like that and just spins. This one
Yes, that has
it's not
bearings on
as
it.
much. Yeah, this one's it doesn't it spins of course, but it's not as much. Not as much. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the how fast they spin and the texture of it. If they have a slick texture, it makes them harder for sure.
Yeah.
I have one that just has a really slick plastic texture on it, and it's a tough one. And that's the one I'm working with now. It's the same size as the Rolling Thunder. It's just a slicker.
All right. Where'd you buy it from?
Well,
What
it's just
brand?
a Titan roller, which is a 2-inch
Oh.
roller, and then I got a piece of 2-inch PVC and cut that and glued it over the end, or glued it over the drum, because I had 2 of the Titan rollers, and I thought I was going to do a bunch of pull-ups on the rollers, and I did a few, and then thought, I don't really want to do this, so I made one of the rollers bigger, and that wound up helping me out more.
Yeah, that's nice.
You got to have a bunch of different sizes in the rollers, I think. You know, a lot of the old time grip guys will tell you got to train it, you know, here and here and here and here and here and here, you know, in order to really get your hands beefed up properly. So I figure it can't hurt.
Right now, you know, I have everything, you know, in one size, you know, just kind of like the basic setup. But I, you know, in time, I'm probably gonna get a garage or something, you know, just make a mini gym, so to say. Like Raspberry Ape. I posted a picture yesterday. Raspberry Ape's gym. That's just crazy,
isn't it? The stuff he has on his wall. I always look at the wall in the background and just try to find things I've never heard of before. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, I was looking for a sidewinder. I thought, you know, I'm gonna have something that he doesn't. No, he has the sidewinder. He has the like gripster. It's like the other product from the same company. He has everything, man.
Of course he does. Yep, Sidewinder Pro. He has all of the stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. He's a darn good gripster though. He's I believe certified red nail. He's done some monstrous grip feats, especially considering that's just secondary to him. He doesn't really care that much about it. You know, he's a grappler first. So it's cool that just as a side thing, he's still hitting huge numbers and getting grip feats that, you know, are certifiable. It's crazy.
Yeah. I saw you did an interview with him, so I'm gonna have to watch that after this.
Yeah, it was we talked a lot about martial arts and grappling. I've been in martial arts since I was a little kid. And I definitely got into grip for that reason, because as soon as you get into grappling, you start hanging on to gis, your fingers get torqued all different ways, and you realize, oh man, my hands are sore. You know, before I even start my next match, you got to do something about that.
Yeah.
But definitely I've gained a lot of grip power. The grip endurance is tough. As you said earlier, you know, you do a few things with grip and your hands are toasted.
Oh yeah, that's next. Like afterwards, you don't feel it, but the morning you wake up, oh man, it hits you like a truck, you know. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Sometimes I'll wake up and my hands will be like this, and I'll have to take the other hand and actually like push it open. You ever deal with that?
Yesterday I did like you know, like my finisher, I guess. I did a in a push-up position. I was like this, you know, like with my fingers just.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was really squeezing my fingers, and like right after I was like, it's just crazy feeling.
That's rough. Yeah. Do you do a lot of extensioner work?
Oh, actually, for Christmas, so I got these. I don't know.
Bands.
So I got a bunch of like resistance bands, right? And they came with like these bands, right?
Yes.
Those so are great. I got a bunch of. Yeah, I use them.
Yeah, I wasn't using them for the longest time.
Oh yeah, like I started grip, in 2019 around that, and I started using them. Like I started doing extensor work like a month ago. So
yeah, exactly. I wasn't using the extensors for years, and they make a huge difference. My gripper strength jumped up probably 10-15 pounds after I started using the extensors for a few months. I was probably closing like a 135 gripper for quite a while, and then I finally got up to closing a number 3 after doing a decent amount of extensor work. I can still only close the number 3 on a really good day. I want to get to the point where I can close the 3 anytime. Like I could wake up at 3 in the morning, roll out of bed, and close a 3.
Yeah.
So that would be cool. Make the 3 like a toy.
Yeah, I feel like after when you can do that, yeah, you're set. You're pretty much set.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And that's something you never want to lose. Is I feel like the 3 is similar to an inch dumbbell. If you have big hands, you want to be able to lift an inch and never lose that. You want to be able to do that forever. If you can close a 3, that's something you want to be able to do forever, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely on the list. It's crazy conditioning to get there though. You know? it's not just like hand strength. I mean, it's your palm toughness too. That is just brute. The grippers will bruise the palms, bending will bruise the palms, and that stuff, you have to deal with in order to get your hands strong enough to push through it. I think that's the
Yeah.
like harder grip stuff, and the softer grip stuff is sort of like pinch and axle. It doesn't really hurt your hands as much.
Oh yeah, it's just like, yeah, those things tire your hands out. But for me, like when I do grippers, when I do grippers, for some reason my ring finger on my left hand, like around the connection of the third and second padding, it starts to hurt for some
Yep.
reason. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
why,
get
but
that too. I get that with my middle finger on my right hand sometimes, and middle finger or ring finger on my right hand, where it feels like it's pulling for the day or something like that. It just feels awkward. It's awkward to close afterward. Yeah. It's just so much torque ripping the hand open. It's crazy.
Yeah, thank God I learned how to set. I watched the Juju Move video with Jed Johnson, and I learned
Oh,
to
right
set.
on. Perfect.
Game changer. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. You really need to find a good how to set a gripper video. I learned from the Paul Knight video. So if you Google searched how to set a gripper Paul Knight, you'd find that one. That was a classic one.
Oh yeah,
And
Paul Knight. I think. Yeah, I know him. I think.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He was closing monster grippers like 10 years ago. Yep. So he was one of the ones I sort of followed when I was moving up in grippers. I got my first gripper in 99, and I didn't close anything like respectable, like a 2.5, until probably like 2012 ish. And then
Was
it was
that like
another.
constant gripping
No, I
or
just had
just?
them in my backpack when I was at college. So
No.
like I would do them after classes sometimes, or just do them at night or here or there. And I took probably a couple years off in between. Um, but no, it wasn't constant. It was very, very little grip work, to tell you the truth. It was just I didn't have a gym, didn't have something to do, so I would just play with them now and then. And it was nothing else, just grippers.
Mm.
So I felt pretty good that I moved up to a 2.5 by not doing anything else. But still, the 2.5 to the 3 is a big jump, and I just didn't want to push that hard to actually try to close a 3. It's just insanely tough, the torque and the force. I think that doing other grip work helps you out more with grippers than just doing gripper work. But that's only been for me. Who knows?
I mean, kind of a similar story, I guess. Luke Raymond, Jed Johnson's friend.
Yeah.
He was like at once Jet student, and Jet said that he gave him like a trainer, I believe, or a one or something like that, and he just kept closing it, getting better at the technique. And finally, when he came back after like a few months, I believe, or a year or something, he closed on 2.5 like instantly,
Oh,
without
wow.
even having any progressions. He was just practicing with the one or trainer or whatever.
That is crazy to go from that to a 2.5. That's awesome. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do this past year, is just use other grip stuff to improve on grippers. It's helped a little bit, but I think my progress is slow. Everybody, it's just everybody's different. Everybody takes how much time they take to move up.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so you've made a decent amount of progress. You started at under 100 kilos, and you're deadlifting 160 now, and you did
Well,
that
double
in
over. Yeah,
about 2 years.
yeah.
Yeah, that's big progress
It's
in 2 years.
yeah, like right now, right now I'm just chilling. I guess I really believe that I need to build my foundation better, as in
Yeah.
I need to actually work on the volume, and then once I build up that toughness and everything, then I can move on to progressing further with the weights. That's my goal right now.
I think that's really smart. I think that's the way to do it. If you just try to push yourself towards heavy weights or push yourself towards heavy grip stuff without having a good foundation, you're going to hurt yourself. And we've seen a few guys do that. Yeah, if you like the climbing guys that don't have a background in weightlifting that go into grip, that's tough. Because if you haven't lifted good weight You can hurt yourself pretty easy doing it.
Well, I mean, rock climbing is like high volume finger training in itself, so carries over great.
Yeah, it carries over quick to the grip, but the rest of the body isn't
Oh
there,
yeah, oh
as you
yeah,
said.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
So those guys have to spend a decent amount of time getting that foundation and getting the entire body stronger.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what's your biggest blunder or injury that you've had so far training?
Well, this finger, man.
Yeah.
Back in September, I'm not sure what caused it. I mean, I slipped off a stair once, and I landed on my palms. But I guess that might be the reason. But it just didn't heal since then, and it's like it's fine. No, I wasn't able. I was able to bend it like this. Now I'm like, I'm bending it. It doesn't hurt, but it hurts like when I do specific movements. Like the hub hurts. Like it's not just soreness or whatever, but it actually like that finger really hurts when I hub. So I don't do it anymore. Grippers also hurt. That's why I'm not doing them anymore. So, but like thick bar, pinch, it's fine.
That'll bounce back.
I hope so, man. Like it's been, yeah, since September, man. Like it's getting better, I guess, but it just doesn't go away. So.
So have you looked into eventually doing grip contest, or do you plan on eventually moving in that route?
I mean, I may be down, but I mean, there's not much going on here. Like I'm not gonna lie. I've seen one guy from Lithuania. He's not from my city, but I don't know if you know him. It's Tomas Mierliskis, Tomekas _ IG.
Okay.
So yeah, he's from Lithuania. He does like really impressive feats. Like he lifted 80 kg on a rolling handle and
Oh, that's
a
good.
bunch of other stuff. A bunch of other stuff. Like yeah, you should check him out. I think he's also from, as I said, Lithuania, but from a different city. So,
cool. That's awesome. So the grip scene over there is fairly small, you'd
but
say?
oh yeah, like in my gym, like I go to a gym where like there are a lot of like actual athletes. Well, they're not like world class or national class, but like they train seriously. But even they don't really focus on grip that much.
Okay.
And I haven't really found many enthusiasts, I guess, like I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ran into the same situation here. A lot of power lifters, a lot of strong men that they'll want to dabble in grip a little bit to help them with, not dropping the bar in strongman or powerlifting or whatever, but they don't want to, make grip their entire focus. But we also get these obstacle course guys, like the guys that do Ninja Warrior and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Those guys that run and swing
Oh
from all
yeah,
the different
yeah.
obstacles. Okay. So a lot of those guys are pretty
Awesome,
good
man.
at grip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got.
Do you know Anton Fomenko?
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's the guy I watch. He's a pro
Yeah.
Ninja Warrior, and he does. Yeah, he's doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, we had a couple of our Ninja Warriors that went on to like nationals, or a couple of them we even went on to the World Championship that train in our area. We had them try out grip, and man, a couple of them can do some crazy stuff, especially on like vertical bars, because they're always hanging from those vertical bars. We found a guy that's like 160 pounds who lifts over 200 pounds on a vertical bar. So I mean, it's pretty wild. It's cool.
Yeah, like I wonder who's like the better gripster, a rock climber or a Ninja Warrior, because they both have to be light. They both like
Yep.
mainly focus on calisthenics, but it's interesting.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. We met a speed climber once too, and he came over and he was like I don't know, 140-pound dude, little guy. He hubbed 245s like it was nothing. Like it was so easy to him, he didn't understand why we thought it was impressive. Like that kind of stuff. You're just like, come on, man. This is crazy what you're doing.
Yeah, it's like you worked all your life to do this, and some guy just comes in and
Yeah, well, he was from Hawaii. They have a lot of rocks there. I figure, it's probably his thing. The Australians are the same way. The whole country is just big rocks. So, tons of climbing to do there for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So, where do you see grip going in Lithuania? Do you plan on hosting any contest or trying to make the scene any bigger over there?
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
not now, but
Yeah.
I need to reach. I believe I need to focus on myself right now. But
Yep.
I hopefully it's gonna get bigger. I mean, Larry Wheels, I think. Well, I don't know how popular he is in Lithuania, but Larry Wheels is really popularizing grip and arm wrestling, Juju Mufa as well. So maybe it's gonna reach Lithuania. Maybe we're gonna start doing grip. You know?
Yeah, that'd be great to see. Yeah, I think Juju Mufu is the best thing that's happened to grip in a long
Oh,
time,
oh
honestly.
yeah.
I have some of their stuff, some of the Grip Genie stuff. I got one of their grippers, and I've got their Rolling Thunder and their hub and their hilt. Their roller is really nice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it won the what's it called? No, the Jed Johnson's tournament.
yeah,
With
toughest handle tournament.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and it is a very tough handle for sure, but it's good texture too. They texturize the plastic a little bit on it, and that's
mm,
nice. It definitely has a better texture than like the Iron Mind one does, for sure. And it feels like it's a stronger bearing system or a stronger spin system. I know a lot of people that use the Rolling Thunder for years. They eventually had problems with it, and I feel like the Genie roller is probably going to hang in a little better. It's also got a cool looking
yeah,
frame.
yeah. I heard Grip Genie stuff is like top notch. Yeah, top quality. Everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything of theirs is really good, other than their grippers. I'm going to be completely
Yeah.
honest; their grippers are not that good.
I
They're Go
aren't
ahead.
they like bigger or no? It's smaller. I think than like the width of the handles is like smaller. No.
No, it's about the same. I think they might have been a little bit smaller at first, but now they seem to be about the same.
Mm.
Um, if they are smaller, it's a smidge. You barely notice it. It's not as small as the thinner handle like the GNCs that I have, um, but it's definitely a thinner handle. But they're just not as good quality. The springs aren't as good. The metal aren't as good. The knurling's not as good. They're closer to like the heavy grips than they are Captains of Crush. I
So
don't
Captains
think
of Crush
they.
is like the golden standard for you, right?
Yeah, yeah. Captains of Crush are pretty awesome. Yeah, I think that the GHPs might be a tiny bit better, but it doesn't really make much of a difference. Yep.
Have you ever tried the like or Ivanko mainly? The spring adjustable gripper.
Yeah, the Super Gripper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yep. Yeah, I have a knockoff one of those. I like
yeah.
it.
Are they legit? Like, is it worth replacing it with like what's better, having the set of COCs or just that one?
It depends on what you're going for. I think the Ivanko doesn't train for closing a gripper. It trains for overall hand strength. It's more like a grip machine. The motion is like straight back as opposed to
Mm,
it being like a gripper. So of course with the gripper, it sits, the motion's not straight, it's kind
yeah,
of upward. It comes back this way.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think that it's perfect for closing a gripper, but it's definitely going to make your hand strength stronger. I mean, some of the strongest gripper closers out there use grip machines, like Nathan Hold does, I don't know, 200 kilos with one hand on a grip machine or some crazy number, 170 at least. Um, so I think that it definitely helps with your overall closing, but it may not help very specific gripper training. If you're training to try to get like a very specific couple millimeters on the end of a specific gripper, then probably using that gripper or using a little heavier gripper is probably going to be what's going to get you there. But I think overall hand strength is going to make a huge difference. I plan on being on the grip machine a decent amount more this year. And I'm hoping that'll get me closing the 3 regularly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that the Barbaran adjustable is really good though for grippers. Have you seen the Robert Barbaran adjustables? It's the one that looks like a gripper, but then it's got the 2 tower springs that stick up and you move the spring up and down.
No, no, I don't think I've seen it. Nope.
I'm gonna pull it up for you and show you real quick right now.
All right. Is it like more expensive than the Ivanko?
Yeah, for sure. You can get the knockoff Ivanko. Like if you get not the main brand, but just a knockoff, like cheap one, you can get one for, I don't know, about $50 US, maybe less online on like
But
eBay.
isn't like I think Ivango is like similar price. At least it used to be. I think it was
Is
like
it?
$50 also. I think so.
Okay. Then maybe I paid a little less. Maybe I paid more like 30 for the off-brand one.
Mm.
But yeah, here's a picture of how that one works. You see that okay?
No, I can just see the whole flashbang. You know,
That's
can't see anything.
horrible.
Oh, you can just type it in chat. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay. There you
Oh,
go.
I can. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Yeah. Oh, I've seen this definitely before.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I've
that's
seen this.
they call it the RB adjustable or the Robert Bear brand adjustable. But that's a lot more closer to the shape of a gripper for sure. It's just a
Yeah.
gripper with a movable spring. It feels different because every time you close it, it's going to feel the same, just harder. So whereas with grippers, like you'll find a gripper that's really tough to close at the very beginning, like right here is super tough. And you'll find some
Mhm.
grippers where it's real easy and then it gets real tough right here and you just can't get that last little bit. It's weird. Some grippers are harder in different ranges. They're harder in the sweep or harder in the crush or harder here or there. You won't get that with the Barbarant because the spring, it's one spring. It's always going to open the same.
I think that's
So
nice to have a constant practicing the same motion except making it harder. I think it's
it
good.
feels really good for training for sure. It feels really good for training, but sometimes then you'll go off of that and grab a gripper and go, oh, this is really hard at this part. That's weird. So
Oh yeah.
I think each gripper is kind of unique in that way.
Yeah, I think grip is all about just doing as much as you can. It's not like, with strength training you can get away with doing a few exercises. I believe grip is like doing as many as possible because there's so many like different weak spots you can have. It's crazy.
Absolutely. The one of the guys we talked to not too long ago, Dali Zhang, you'll find his chat when you go on our page. That's what he talked about, doing 2-a-days, doing every different type of thickness he could do, just mixing it up, constantly changing it. He's part of the reason why I'm doing the 100 days of grip medley and doing a different max every single day because
Mm,
he just said change it up more.
yeah, I believe in that too. Right now I'm training grip 6 days a week, and every day I'm doing like I'm using like 6 implements, and I do 2 a day, so it kind of ends up being like twice a week on each
Nice.
implement. And yeah, I if I yeah I just as many as I can. I try to vary everything. Yeah.
Nice. Have you built any grip implements?
Well, my most of my grip implements are homemade.
Okay, so you
As I
have built a
bought
few then.
yeah, so I have the sidewinder bought, the rolling handle bought, and the rest is just homemade. Yeah.
Okay, cool. What's your coolest homemade stuff? How'd you build that?
Mostly my dad built most of them, but I guess the coolest one is like, well, the easiest one to make was the ball. All we had to do was like uh, grind off the edges a little bit, and it was like a ball, and there was this like handle, I guess. So we just cut off the handle, shaved the edges a little bit so the carabiner fit, and I mean that was easiest. But the coolest, mm, I don't know. I'm still gonna go with a pipe. I mean, it was also extremely easy to make. All you have to do is just weld a ring to it. But it works the best for me. I know it's the coolest for me.
That's cool, man. Absolutely. Yeah, I know a bunch of people that made their own axle, and I think that's so cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we did a couple of the ball things too. I just drilled a hole through a baseball or drilled a hole through a softball, and then put an eye bolt in it. And boom, I had some ball shaped things to lift with. Yeah, when I first started, that's what most of our stuff was. We would cut a piece of wood that's maybe a 4-inch by 4-inch. We'd cut it, and then so I guess that's like 100 centimeter by 100 centimeter piece of wood. We'd cut
Mm.
that and then make it about this thick, and then use that for key pinch and just drill a hole and attach a carabiner and just pick up weight with just a little piece of wood or whatever we could use. So yeah, it started out like that for sure. You can make a lot of stuff in grip. It's just something you squeeze that you pick up weights with.
Yeah, but with wooden tools, when you're making them, you gotta make sure you what's it called in English? Just grind them off so like you don't get splinters.
Yeah, you got to sand it down. Yeah, that's the word. You sand it down. Yeah, for sure, absolutely, because it's very easy to cut up your hands doing that, or even some of the metal, you got to file that stuff down, make it nice and smooth. But yeah, we like to rust too, though. We live where it rains, so we sand everything, all the paint off, all the metal, and let it sit and rust as much as possible. Rust helps a lot in grip.
Oh yeah, my hubs are rusted. If they were like smooth, I probably just wouldn't able to lift anything with them.
Exactly. That's how the Grip Genie hub is. It's smooth, and it's tough. So they had everybody lifting with a doorknob style on the hub this time instead of a regular hub. Did you see that? The doorknob lift? That was pretty wild.
Like what contest? Like Jet Johnson's or?
It was in Super Series.
Oh, is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
I'm gonna have to.
Instead of hubbing like this.
Yeah.
We were hubbing like this.
That seems weird.
It was different. Some of the what's that?
It's like you're in a more advantageous position, I feel, but you're not using two fingers.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And those two fingers are extremely important in grip, especially in closing grippers. So that was definitely an interesting one. I feel like some of the Grip Genie lifts, I think they're trying to attract people from other sports to come into grip. Because if you make them too grip specific, then the powerlifters and strongman will hate the gripsters. They'll just come in and they'll say, this is ridiculous. Why are you lifting it with just your pinky finger or whatever? And that's how gripsters train, So I think that it helped bring more people into grip. I think we got more people in the sport now from that. And I think that's cool.
Oh, that's cool. But I feel like, grip training should be like taking something and making it as hard as possible. That's how I feel. I don't know.
I agree 100%. I absolutely agree that you should try to make it as difficult as you possibly can, that the implement should be fighting you, not helping you. But
yeah, that's the
not everybody feels that way. We get a decent amount of guys, they want to lift a big number, So I don't care if I'm lifting a big number as long as I'm getting a good workout. But I understand why for shows and for stages, you want to have big lifts up there for people to see.
Oh yeah, just like strongman, Arnold Classic focuses mostly on the weights and like these big the show like just like the Conan wheel, the huge implement, just you got to bring in people, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna actually be talking to we're hoping to talk to Ricardo later this month or next month about the Arnold Classic grip contest that's coming up, because they're doing it bigger than they ever have before for grip. They have a separate stage just for grip, and the lifts that they chose to put on that stage are the big weight lifts. They're like the axle and the Saxon bar and the lifts that get attention. They're exciting. I think it's important that we have those lifts showcased for sure in grip. Especially axle deadlift. It's huge. It's a big bar. It looks exciting. It's a lot of weight. But yeah, there's obviously other stuff that's more hand specific. Like you don't have to lift a lot of weight. You just have to have super strong hands that you might consider more grip than say an axle lift, but it's not going to get the attention. It's not going to get people excited,
I feel like legacy lifting, well, I call it legacy lifting, something like, Odd Hagen did 70 reps on the inch dumbbell.
Oh, that was crazy.
For his like 70th birthday or something like that. Things like that, just making grip look interesting, not just, picking things up and putting them down.
Yeah, even that 70 lifts on that inch dumbbell, man. That looks so cool on TV, but then if you go and touch an inch dumbbell, it just becomes mind-boggling.
Yeah.
You just can't believe what he accomplished at that age. You know, once you put your hands on an inch and realize how hard it is to actually lift. I mean, we all saw that the very first time Mark Henry tried to lift when he couldn't do it, he had to come back a year later and do it.
Mm.
So to see Ode just at his age do it that many times is incredible.
Oh yeah, all this like I don't know how I forgot to mention him, but yeah, he's a huge inspiration. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, we want to get a chance to meet him sometime. He's only a couple states away from us, so it'd be cool to get down there and meet him for sure. Yeah, he's one of the ones on my list.
Yeah, hopefully you get the big guests. Martin's Lisi is also Odd Hagen's like student, also just tremendous grip.
Yep. Oh yeah, he won first place at the first half of Super Series. He entered just on a whim, and for the first half of it, he was in first place.
Nice. I'm gonna have to
Martins
watch.
is a monster, man. He's one of the biggest reasons why I think that that Luke Stoltman's not going to just win every year now. You know, I thought once he gets up to the top, he may win for 4 or 5 years because he's just so big and so dominant. But I think Martins could come back and shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, I think he won a show recently. Like he made his comeback after an injury.
Yeah, he did the
It was
Rogue.
yeah.
Yeah, the Rogue grip competition or whatever, the Rogue Invitational. Yeah, he came back and did that, and he did pretty well. So that was awesome. Yeah, that guy's celebrated a little bit here in America. We have commercials with him and whatnot.
Really?
So yeah, it's
he has a gym now. Yeah, he has a gym now.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't know too much about him having a gym now. I knew he was training with Ode for the longest time down in California.
Oh yeah, training hall.
Yeah, at the training hall, exactly. So let's see. I think that's pretty much what we had to chat about. Do you have any questions for us or anything else you want to tell people before we let you go?
No. I just one question. I mean, how did you come up with the potato?
Well, it just grows in our garden. You know, they just grow out there. Like as long as people are around gripping a whole lot, they just grow out there. No,
yeah,
we just wanted something fun that was different, that had a whole different grip to it, which it does. It's like a thumb smash on one side and a fingertip purchase on the other.
Oh yeah.
So it's
I saw your guide video. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's tough. I mean, the purchase is tiny. You know, you only get this much of your fingertips on it, which is nothing. And then this side, if you have small hands, it helps. So you'll actually love the potato, because I only have 7.5-inch hands and my thumb goes right up to the top right there. If your hand's too big, then you have to do like a funky crimp grip where you have this gap here and it becomes tougher. The guy that actually has the heaviest golden potato lift only has 7.5-inch hands, or right around 7.5-inch hands. That's Joel Dirks. Joel Dirks is ridiculous if you don't follow him, by the way. He has 7.5-inch hands, and he can pick up a blob and throw it from hand to hand, pick up an inch like it's nothing, close a number 3 with no set. Like his hands are unbelievably strong for the size. Like he's probably got some of the strongest sub 7.5 or 7.5 or smaller hands in the world, I'd say.
So, but is he like overall a big guy, or
yeah, he's huge. Yeah, he's a big monster. For sure. He comes from strongman and he's big, 800-pound lifter type of guy, but it's just cool to see that he can do what he can do with his hands at that size, that hand size. But yeah, the potato we thought would just put a smile on people's faces during the pandemic was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
We just wanted people to have something fun to do that was different, that would make them happy, and also that would get us into some sort of sport. It was partly to motivate us too, to motivate ourselves, because it takes me a lot to get fired up. So for me to get into grip, I had to kind of be a part of it, or a part of the community. So I had to make a tool, make a website, and get a bunch of leaderboards and get people excited and post some contests. And then that got me more excited about it and got me into the gym more.
Oh yeah, it's really interesting. And I believe, at least from what I saw, obviously never tried it, but from what I saw, I think it's a really, really useful, lift that I think is neglected.
Yeah, for
Honestly.
sure. Absolutely. The fingertips are, most people that really love it are climbers, of course, because they're already doing this type of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, in grip, your fingertips are definitely neglected quite a bit. The only time we really use them is pinch. We don't do a lot of support stuff with them. The tips tester is one where they do a little support stuff. If you've seen that one, that's by Barrel Strength Systems. It's like an axle that has a ridge right in the middle where you hang the weight from that. So you can't close your hand around it. You wind up closing your hand only about like that.
Oh.
And it pulls all the weight on your fingertips and your thumb tip. So I think that it's mostly climbers that have focused on that fingertip strength. And obviously there's several climbers that have world records in grip. Joe Hodgson, Yves Gravel, Tanner Merkel, all climbers, all world record holders in grip. So there's, I think that we'll see more climbing training in grip, and I think we'll see more arm wrestling training in grip in the next 10 years.
Yeah,
as we move along, for sure. Because
I believe one thing that's underrated, and I mean, I personally can't do such feats, but I believe one of the best ways to train your grip is like doing pull-ups, with different implements.
I agree
But
100%. We watched Yvonne Shook. He's like the 19-year-old that's closing the number 4 gripper right now. He's super crazy strong, but if you see, he's almost always doing either grippers or pull-ups on fat grips or pull-ups on different types of grips. Yeah, absolutely. So I agree. And dead hangs and arm hangs, anything where you're just putting a lot of weight on the fingers, that helps.
Yeah, I believe. To me, if I could only do one exercise, it'd be the pull-up, like, for sure.
There you go. That's good advice right there.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, if there's nothing else we have to chat about, I hope you have a good day then. And I appreciate you joining us.
Too.
All right. Can't wait to see you go for a golden potato lift for sure.
Oh, so, man. As soon as I get it, I'm going to go nuts, man. Doesn't matter if it's 6 a.m., 6 p.m., whatever it is, man. I'm going to go down to the basement. I'm going to film it,
Cool. Well, awesome. We'll get a set out to you soon, and we're looking forward to that.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Cool. Thanks for chatting with us.
Yeah. Bye.
Take care.